I had what you'd call a normal life, but underneath the surface, I'd suffered years of domestic abuse and intimidation. And with nothing but the clothes on my back, I made the decision to leave. Because for me at that moment, being homeless, or at least sleeping on a friend's sofa, was the better option. I turned to alcohol because I had nothing else. I had no one else to turn to. I had virtually no possessions. I had no plan. Suicide crossed my mind a lot.
I'd been in a cycle of self-destruction for a long time. But when I found myself back at HMP Featherstone for another drink driving offence, I was in a dark place. I was lucky I hadn't killed someone, though. Like drinking myself to death and then getting behind the wheel to go home. I was a wreck. And that's just part of the story. Anxiety, schizophrenia. So when I did get home, I just wanted to block out reality, be alone. I might as well be back inside. At least I've got some mates to talk to in there.
I would say things started to go horribly wrong for me and my family about 5 years ago. My husband ended up in prison for theft, fueling a debilitating drug addiction. And then a couple of years later, we lost our eldest daughter to cancer. Just beyond devastated, and made that much harder because I didn't have my partner there to share any of the grief with. We have 2 younger sons, and they miss their dad and their sister every single day. They're crying in class, can't concentrate, not sleeping. Then COVID restrictions hit, and the boys hardly got to speak to their dad, let alone see him. And between the lockdown and everything else, my mental health took an absolute battering. It's hard enough trying to raise 2 kids on your own, but when you are suffocating in isolation and hopelessness, you just feel like the walls are closing in on you.
I met my YSS support worker 2 years ago. I was in the middle of a complete mental crisis, and she understood that. We focused on 2 things: finding me somewhere safe to live and helping me battle my drinking problem. So with their amazing support, I enrolled on a life skills course. I got treatment for my alcohol addiction, and I finally got some stability back in my life, and I could think clearly again.
After I got out last year, I remember feeling like this is my last chance to try and make something of myself. So I felt proper lucky when YSS stepped in and offered me that lifeline. That it wasn't just help with housing and stuff like that. It was support with my medical conditions, you know, putting me in touch with a community mental health team who started helping me get my mind back on track. You know, YSS have accompanied me to hospital appointments, physio appointments, psychiatry appointments. And because of that support, I've been able to claim my disability benefits as well. Anxiety, it's not so bad, you know, when you've got someone along with you for that journey.
It was a school who noticed how much my boys were struggling, and that's how I got referred to YSS. And I feel like that was day one of me getting better. But I was just given this ray of light and just someone who genuinely cared about our situation.
Before I met my support worker, I felt like I was banging my head against a fence post, like nobody listened to me. But now, for the first time in years, I feel like my life is back on track. Instead of in some ditch or prison cell somewhere. I can't thank YSS enough for all the empathy and compassion and just general support they've shown me. Especially putting me in contact with all those organisations that can give me some structure back in my life again.
For me, YSS was the difference between having nothing and having genuine prospects to feel excited about. I got a job in a charity shop. I found a house share that I love. And I am really proud to have been sober for 6 months. For the first time in years, I'm feeling happy and I'm excited about the future.
YSS do a fantastic job, and I feel so much better about my home life, about my boys' mental state. And I know that when my husband comes home in a few months that I'll be more equipped to deal with that situation as well, because YSS will be there for me then, just as they are now.